Alright, hello. Sorry if I sound a little congested. I am incredibly sick right now, but that's okay. This video is just gonna be going over John Doe and what makes him so fun. I did a video similar like this to Chance. This one's just gonna be about John Doe though. He is incredibly fun. I'm gonna start this video like I did the Chance one by going over all of John Doe's abilities and then talking about how I think they synergize well and make him really fun. By the way, I know YouTubers do the whole graph thing, but this is abysmal. You guys should subscribe if you've made it through the intro, even with my sick voice. You should subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, on to the video. The first thing I'm going to talk about is John Doe's passive abilities. The first of these is Natural Malevolence, which leaves a trail behind John Doe and makes for a very lethal ability. When survivors step in it, they gain Corrupted 2 for 3 seconds, which will deal a ton of damage over time, and it is detrimental if you are moving around a small thing with a John Doe and you can't get out of it. Having to run through it can really mess you up. John Doe's other passive is Unstoppable, which makes it to where he can only be stunned for up to 2.175 seconds. This does not mean that he will not be stunned for less. He can, anytime he gets stunned, he will be stunned for 2.175 seconds. Upon getting unstunned, though, he will gain speed so he can catch up way faster. For the first of John Doe's actual abilities, we have Corrupt Energy, which is the spike ability that you'll probably see some gameplay of on screen. It has a cooldown of 18 seconds, does 12 damage per spike, and shoots out 26 spikes. They go with your cursor so you can flick them around or curve them all around. Whenever you hit a survivor with them, you gain speed 1 for 7 seconds, and you can only hit somebody 4 times with the spikes. It's incredibly helpful for walling survivors off, doing damage, all kinds of stuff. The second of John Doe's abilities is Digital Footprint. It has an 8-second cooldown and lets John Doe place a trap anywhere on the map. It creates this puddle that you can have up to 3 of, and if a survivor walks into it, you gain speed 1 for 10 seconds, they become corrupted and gain slowness 2 for 10 seconds, and you can see their aura. They can also see your aura and the time they've stepped in it while they're affected with it. It despawns after 165 seconds or after a survivor has walked on it. It can also be despawned if you place in more than 3. You can have a limit of 3 at once. Overall, Digital Footprint is a very good zoning move, and it shines best in keeping survivors in linear areas. You don't really want to put it out and about, you want to keep it in choke points. The final of John Doe's abilities is 404 Error. This has a 20-second cooldown and literally just allows John Doe to see any living survivor for 4 seconds. He gets to read their aura and see them through any wall or anything. Very helpful for tracking people. Overall, John Doe is the literal definition of a jack of all trades. He does not excel in any specific field, but he is a good all-rounder. He can zone survivors, he can deal damage, all kinds of stuff. He's very good in multiple things. John Doe also struggles in very ranged situations, as the spikes allow you to hit from a range, but you have to stop completely and lose a ton of distance. So if you miss the spikes, they will gain a whole ton of distance on you. John Doe has a multitude of different techs you can do with him as well. The most popular one being spike flicks. A spike flick is where you turn your camera one way to deceive survivors to think you're sending them somewhere, and then flick your camera back around using shift lock or first person to catch the survivors off guard and deal a whole ton of damage. I have very few examples of this, as I'm not the best John Doe player, let's just say, but I do have a couple examples and I'll show those on screen. The spikes are by far John Doe's best ability, and the one that can do the most for you. It will allow you to completely wall off survivors with the risk of walling yourself off too. If you wall somebody off and you'll have to wait out the entire time to even get to them if they are completely sectioned off, which isn't can be good in some scenarios. It's definitely more worth it than to just leave them. Overall, I find that John Doe's zoning abilities synergize very well with each other. Between his puddles and spikes, he does an excellent job of getting survivors where he wants them to play more advantageously. It's a game of like you have to play strategically when playing John Doe and try and predict survivors as you will get destroyed if you are not careful. John Doe can also boil down to an M1 killer just chasing around and hitting survivors as he does 30 damage with his slash, although he is the second slowest character in the game. Um, that doesn't mean he can't do it. 30 damage with slash, you kill an Elliot in 3 hits. It's a very, very viable strategy. Overall, most of my enjoyment with John Doe comes from the thrill of the chase, like most killers, but specifically with John Doe, the feeling of hitting somebody with spikes is unmatched. It is just a boom boom boom. Hearing that hit sound it's great. Um and then as stated before, outplaying survivors and predicting people, it's another just great feeling. Feels very rewarding knowing that you played your cards right and got this and did this. It's it's very fun, and I really, really enjoy him. John Doe is a case of one of those killers that it's hard to master. Like, he has a very high skill ceiling. You can learn and learn everything, all the ins and outs about John Doe, and you would never become like the best because it's just endless. But I genuinely think he is such a limitless character, and it is so much fun because you can feel yourself improving as you're playing him. It's a gratifying feeling that I really struggle to find in most games like this. So it's a nice breath of fresh air to have a character that is so much fun like this. While he isn't for everybody, I definitely think there is some enjoyment you can find in him, whether it's landing spikes or just knocking down people with your claw. Overall, yeah, he's really fun. I would definitely recommend you to try him out. Um, but I'm sure if you're watching this, you've already tried him out. You know how he feels. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sick. I'm gonna go back to bed. Please subscribe. Bye.